YouTubers, this is the Fat Girl Flow channel, and today we are going to be doing a little tattoo tour and talking about the tattoos that I have. You guys ask me a lot of questions about them. I get a lot of questions on Instagram specifically about my tummy tattoo. So I finally asked y'all on Instagram what kind of tattoo questions you had. I have a list of them that I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna try to just answer them kind of as I go through and talk about the ones that I have. Mostly I'm going to try to tell you about the big ones and just focus on the questions that you guys were really into. To start, I got my first tattoo when I was 18. I think it was like the week after my 18th birthday. I got a star tattoo on my lower back. I forget that it's there quite frequently. I got it in a shop. It was fine. It took about 15 minutes. It was whatever. I will say that anytime you tattoo over the kidneys, you can kind of feel it on the inside, so it was a little sore, but not too bad. I absolutely advise against this. This is not something that I am proud of or that I am trying to tell anyone that they should go do. Go on, kitty. God damn it. My next tattoo was done in someone's basement by a friend of mine who had a tattoo gun. He's a professional tattooer, but he didn't have a shop, and so we did it in his basement. He freehanded a sparrow on me right here. You obviously cannot see it. There is a massive cover up over it. I will post a picture of the sparrow just so you guys can see what it was. Over the next several years, I got a lot of tiny tattoos. I got a peace sign on this wrist. I got a Thunderbird on this wrist. I think the first kind of meaningful tattoo I got was after a breakup with someone who I had been in a long-term relationship with, and it was very abusive, and I got a tattoo under my left breast that was a heart, and in the center of it, it said "Be Free." That "Be Free" tattoo is actually the inspiration for the Fat Bitch shirts. I like the heart with the script in it, and the "Be Free" tattoo was it looked terrible. I'll see if I can find a picture of it and show you guys, but it was a wreck. None of these tiny tattoos hurt very badly. They were all pretty quick. I will say the wrists surprised me. They hurt a little bit more than other ones. So the first big tattoos I got are my calf tattoos. Each of them took 4 to 6 hours. On one of them there is a gun, and it's got flowers around it, and it says "I've always been crazy." On the other side there is a dagger, and it has flowers around it, and it says "But it's kept me from going insane." These are lyrics from a Waylon Jennings song, my favorite Waylon Jennings song, maybe my favorite song ever, titled "I've Always Been Crazy." These tattoos were done by Ron Miller of Miller Tattoo in Lawrence, Kansas. I went in and I was basically like, I love these lyrics and I want to find something kind of cool and Western to go with them, and he drew it up, and they are maybe my favorite tattoos ever. I remember telling people about what I was gonna get, and everyone was kind of like, "You're getting calf tattoos that say you're crazy." Now, hindsight, I think that if I would have waited on these tattoos where I was in my life, I don't think I ever would have got these tattoos at any other point in my life, but I am so happy that I did, because they're maybe my favorite tattoos. They're gorgeous. I really, really love them. They are about 10 years old now, so they do need to just get a little bit touched up with some black, and the shading needs to be touched up a little bit. Hannah Record asked which tattoo is my favorite, and I would have to say my calf tattoos are probably my favorite ones. There's something about 25-year-old me going in and getting these just outrageous tattoos, and 33-year-old me looking back at it and being like, wow, I still love those tattoos, that makes me feel good, because that person is so different than the person I am now, and somehow we still have this singular line of these Waylon Jennings lyrics that connect me to my past self, so I really like those tattoos. Jennifer asked, do you have any tattoos that you regret? So I'll kind of segue with that question going into this. I definitely regretted my basement tattoos. They were fine tattoos, but once I got these calf tattoos and I saw how beautiful artwork on me could be, I wanted to update the sparrow tattoo that I had. Unfortunately, when you do cover-ups, sometimes you can get a little overzealous, and I think I got a little bit overzealous with my cover-up. I don't dislike this cover-up. It was a rough tattoo to get. It was uncomfortable both in the pain area and also just how the tattooist had to like hover over me and how the gun is just like right next to your face. The whole thing with this tattoo was not super fun for me. On top of that, I much prefer warm colors. So this big like spot of purple and blue on me is not my favorite thing. I do love this tattoo because it is my mom, my sister, and my aunt's favorite flowers. And those are like the 3 women in my life that I'm the closest to, and I love them very, very much. So like, that's cool. But overwhelmingly, this cover-up tattoo is not my favorite. I do not like blue. I do not like cool colors, and those are very cool colors, very close to my face. So yeah. I think that having tattoos that I'm not super fond of has actually been kind of a good practice in accepting things that like happen to my body. Obviously, it's not like stretch marks, like I did this to myself, so it's very different, but it has been a good practice in just like getting used to something that's very different with your body and being like, well, that's part of my body now, so what the fuck am I gonna do, you know? This tattoo was 3 sittings of 3 hours a piece. It was not fun. During my calf tattoos, I fell asleep. The calf tattoos were a breeze. It was like 5 hours of me napping during the tattoo. Easy. This was not easy and not fun. Would not do it again. That's for sure. Somewhere along the way, I also got the outline of the state of Kansas on my back. That was like, I don't know, an hour-long tattoo. It took no time at all, and it's a shitty little tattoo. I wanted that state of Kansas to be like a whole Kansas tattoo on my back. My style has changed a lot. I've kind of changed my outlook on what home means, so I don't think I'm gonna do much with it for now, but we'll see. The next tattoo is the one that I get the most questions about. It is I call it my belly tattoo. A lot of people call it a sternum tattoo. An underbust tattoo. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. It's a giant bull skull with some roses wrapped around it. This one is by Carlos Ransom at Abraxas Tattoo in Lawrence, Kansas. It is 100% my most visible on Instagram tattoo. Every time someone sees my belly, I think that they are shocked that I have a tattoo there. I think a lot of people want to know if it hurts and just like what the healing process is like. So a few questions that I got about this tattoo was what inspired it. Nothing inspired it. I decided I liked bull skulls. I decided I liked roses. And I had a bull skull tattooed on me. It was really that simple. I had that Be Free tattoo under my left breast, and I wanted to get it covered up. And I was like, oh, a bull skull, the shape of a bull skull would look really cool, like on your underbust. So that's how I decided that I wanted it. It worked out. I like it a lot, so that's nice. Someone else asked, did I get this tattoo early along in like the process of getting tattoos? No, I had several large tattoos before getting this one. Thank God, because as a lot of you asked, was it painful? Yes, it fucking was. And I have a high pain tolerance, I truly do, and it was really miserable. It was hard. It was hard to sit through. It was not fun. There were certain parts of it that made your whole body just like, and like certain parts of it that made you feel like you were gonna gag, and then certain parts of it that made me hungry. Like it's a very weird sensation having needles go over that part of you. I think I sat for about 2.5 hours twice for this one. Honestly, I got the outline done, and after getting the outline done, we scheduled the appointment to get it colored in. I prepaid and stuff, and I mean, I got that outline done and I was like, fuck, I'm not going back. Like, I cannot go back. Like, the first shot, at least I didn't know what was coming, but goddamn, that second sitting it's the only time I have ever even shed a tear during a tattoo. It is, I would say, definitely more of an expert level tattoo area. Your stomach and under your bust is rough. Very fucking rough. Oh, I also got got some questions about how much all of these tattoos cost. My underbust tattoo I think was right around, I think like $900. They're very expensive. They are not something that is not an investment. This one was cheaper. I think it was around $600. I think each of my calf tattoos was around $350. It all depends on whether or not your artist has like a daily rate or whether or not they charge differently for black and gray or color, or like there's a lot of different things that go into it. The $900 I think is like their $600 day rate, and then I tipped them $300. That sounds outrageous probably to some people, but when you think about it, this artist created this tattoo. No one else will ever have this tattoo. He won't tattoo it on anyone else. He's creating original artwork and then putting it on your body. It's an expensive thing to do, and it's a big investment. So they're expensive. I mean, that's, if you want a good tattoo, they're gonna be pretty fucking expensive. Also, the sternum tattoo, people really wanted to know about the healing process. I will say that this tattoo, I think because the skin is so delicate there, this is the only tattoo I've ever had that really felt very, very stingy. It felt like I was incredibly sunburnt for nearly 3 weeks there. After I got the underbust tattoo done, I actually had this tattoo reworked again. I think that maybe this was a mistake. I feel like this tattoo has been worked over too many times. It is more beautiful now, in my opinion. I do like it much, much more, but I think honestly I should have just left it alone and maybe start on the process of getting it removed. And I think that I wish I would have just kind of chilled on it and been like, okay, it's a tattoo I don't like, maybe I'll get it removed someday, instead of continuing to try to fix it over and over and over again. It was like $500 to get it reshaded and recolored and reworked and stuff. The next tattoo that I got is my forearm tattoo. This is one, how the hell do I show? There we go. This is one of my favorite tattoos. I love it. I love that I can see it all the time. I get remarks about the yellow in this tattoo all the time. This is another piece from Carlos Ransom, and I believe that he uses fusion ink. This yellow, I mean, I have had this tattoo now for about 5 years and it's holding pretty strong, so it's incredible. This is a moth and some yellow flowers. I, at one point, just wanted to turn my whole body into like a garden. I kind of still do. I just love flowers and the outdoors. I think that this tattoo really shows like the colors that I prefer and stuff, so I like that a lot. After getting this tattoo, I was very hesitant to do colors, and the way Carlos did both my sternum and this piece just made me feel reassured about doing color tattoos, because they feel very true to life. They feel warm while still being like vibrant and still looking like kind of vintagey. He's amazing. He just does a really good job. So yeah, this tattoo was done in one shot, and it's a pretty big tattoo to do all in one shot. Like I said, I'm pretty fucking tough. I think it was about 5 hours, and the last hour Carlos did put numbing cream on me, so that helped. So a few of you asked what like my process is the day of getting tattooed. I would say getting very zen, having a very small meal before going, usually something like toast and eggs, like nothing that's gonna upset my stomach, making sure that I have headphones, making sure I have a water bottle, making sure my phone's charged, bringing a battery pack for my phone. You can be there kind of like all day. I also usually have like a friend come check on me, see if I need anything around like the 2 o'clock mark. Usually you go in at 10 or 11. They work on your tattoo for a while you're there, because you're paying these people usually for a day rate, so they don't have your tattoo ready when you come in. And a lot of the time they do the tattoo while you wait. It usually takes like 2 hours to do the art, so I would say you get started around noon or 1. You get started. I usually have a friend come check on me at like 2 or 3. Maybe bring me like a Tylenol if I need it. Maybe bring me a soda if I need it, or like a little snack I have eaten while getting tattooed, or like on a tattoo break. But I definitely wouldn't eat too much, because you can kind of go from doing fine to nauseous Kansas very quickly. And then yeah, I usually get tattooed until like 4 or 5 and then you head home. I always plan on taking the evening to myself and getting a lot of sleep and staying really hydrated after I get tattooed. I do believe in the tattoo flu. I feel like shit after I get tattooed no matter what. I don't think I did when I was younger. Like I remember when I was 25 I'd get tattooed and then go out, and I cannot do that now. Pain affects me in a different way now that I am 30 something years old because I just get like sick if I feel pain. So I do chill for a couple days afterwards. Just take it easy. Make sure you're like taking care of your tattoos and stuff. The newest tattoos I have, I've gotten from Holly at Standard Electric in Lawrence, Kansas. She's lovely. I really like the tattoo shop there. It's like a mom and pop kind of shop, and I just like liked them because I wanted a couple small tattoos that the tattooer who did this tattoo and my underbust charges a day rate. You can't get like small little 2-hour tattoos from him. So I went to Holly to get these sunbursts on my right arm, kind of like a moon phases sunburst thing. I wouldn't say most of my tattoos have like heavy meanings. I'm just like, oh, I like this. I want to get it tattooed on me. Pretty simple. I like the moon and the sun and like witchy astrology stuff, and yeah. I also got the tattoo on my thigh that is a heart that says me in the middle of it. I got that with a bunch of my girlfriends in New York when we went to CurvyCon, and a lot of us have matching tattoos on our thighs, and it is, I mean, that's like one of my favorite tattoo experiences because we all went and we just like found this guy who hadn't closed his shop yet, and we like, you know, we're kind of flirted with him and we were like, can you please do all of us? And he did, and he was really nice about it, and it was really fun to get like tattooed in New York with some of my girlfriends. That was cool. Jay and I on Valentine's Day last year, after only dating for a couple months, got bow and arrow tattoos. I have the bow, Jay has the arrow. You know, hindsight, probably not the smartest decision. I wouldn't recommend getting tattoos with someone that you've only been with for a few months, but it's worked out. I still like look at it fondly, and it makes me think of Jay, and I think it's cute, and you know, it was fun. So don't regret that one at all, but also wouldn't necessarily recommend anyone run out and do that with someone that they've only been dating a couple months. I think the last tattoo that I got, the most recent tattoo that I got, is the horseshoe with the desert motif in the center of it. I got that because I was missing the desert, honestly. Winters in Kansas are rough, and I love heat, and I love Arizona, and I love Southern California, and I am a sucker for all things hot and sandy, and I love old westerns. I mean, I don't love old western movies, but I like that vibe. And so I just decided to go get a black and gray tattoo that reminded me of the desert because it felt like I wanted to have a piece of that on me. A few people asked what my next tattoo will be. I think I'm probably gonna do like a full desert sunset on one of my arms. I look at tattooing as something that like I'll be able to do forever, so I'm not like in a rush to do it. We'll see what I do next, who knows. So the questions that a lot of people asked me had to do with being fat and getting tattooed. I have been really lucky that the people I've worked with have just been kind. I actually have never met a tattooer that isn't hyper familiar with bodies. These people tattoo on so many varieties of bodies, and their clientele are usually so diverse that I think that I've always just kind of felt like, okay, I mean, if you haven't seen a fat person want a tattoo, then you're not a fucking great tattoo artist, you know? So I haven't had any like weird experiences, but I don't think that that's out of the realm of possibilities, for sure. I do think that there's something about getting tattooed that feels empowering. I like having tattoos on my body. I think that a lot of people would kind of shy away from tattooing something like their stomach. Fuck it, if you're gonna look, you might as well have something to look at. So when I go to the pool now, it's funny how much my like idea about what people were looking at changed when I started getting tattoos too. I used to wear bikinis. I've always worn bikinis. But after I got the like bull skull tattoo, I was just like, they're just looking at my tattoos. Like, I think it just made me feel like less like people were looking at my fatness, which I don't know if that's like empowering or not. I don't know. It was something though. I also got asked what my favorite style is and how I find artists that I like. I definitely trend towards more like Americana style. I don't like cartoonish styles. I like a little bit more true to life kind of stuff, but I also like it to look hearty, if that makes sense. I did get questions about finding fat-friendly artists. My best advice is if you think someone doesn't want to tattoo you, leave. Fucking leave. Don't give them your business. If you get even sort of a sense that someone is not fat friendly, just fucking leave. They don't need your business. You don't need to fuck with them. You are allowed to leave a tattoo shop at any time. At any time. If you paid a little deposit, ask for it back. If you don't get it back, fuck it. It's way better than sitting there for 6 hours with someone who you think fucking hates your body. If you even get like an inkling that someone is not kind about fat bodies, just move the fuck on, because there are thousands of tattoo artists that are. I would say overwhelmingly the majority of tattoo artists are kind and fat friendly. So if you find one that's not, fucking leave. Okay, you guys, that is it for this little tattoo tour and chat. I get a lot of tattoo questions. I hope I answered some. I honestly never thought I'd be like a tattooed person. I just like started and decided that I really liked how my body looked with them, and that's how that happened. So if you like them, I encourage you to do some research, see if you want them, maybe start small, check out some shops that you like. Yeah, also feel free to go into shops and like feel out the vibe and see if you like them and then move on. You know, like some shops are not going to be for you. The people who did like my desert tattoo, I walked in and their kiddo was in the shop doing homework, and it just felt so like warm and inviting to me. That felt very like, oh, okay, you guys are just like kind, cool people. You don't like scream at children. I don't know, it just felt nice. So yeah, find shops that you really like and start small and then see where it goes. Or don't get tattoos. That's fucking fine too. Don't get tattoos. Who cares? Okay guys, until next time, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If there are any questions you have, please feel free to ask them in the comment section and I will try to get to them. Until next time. Wait, I already said that part. Bye!